I'd say the concept that left the biggest impression on me during our literature studies this semester was the concept of defining success for yourself. The reason for this is the fact that it's often easy to forget that there isn't really a set way to live life. Life is not a formulaic concept where everyone has to follow the same path in order to reach the same end goal. If one large group of people view money as the end goal, this does not mean that money must be viewed as your ultimate goal as well. If money is not your concern and you find fulfillment in other things, you have not taken the unsuccessful path. In the end, life is what you want it to be. Your path is up to you. This concept, although simple, is not one that's heavily emphasized in today's culture. Societal views have shaped many of us into believing that there's a specific way to live life, a life in which the end goal is the same for everyone. If you don't go to university, you're unintelligent. If you don't have a high-paying job, you're lower in status. Society idolizes those with wealth. They pay attention to these people and raise them on a pedestal, resulting in things like celebrities. Before this class, I hadn't really thought about how much culture affects what an individual's view of success is. You don't realize how shaped you are by the culture until you're confronted with an alternate viewpoint. In this class, that viewpoint was shown through Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. What Arthur Miller shows through Death of a Salesman is that success doesn't necessarily have to be what society or those around you view. Through Biff, he shows how damaging simply following a way of life that you have no desire for can be. A lack of motivation and drive has Biff wasting away his years, moving city to city, only to eventually move back in with his parents. This isn't the life that Biff even wants. He wants to live out his days on a ranch, but his father wouldn't let him because there's no status or wealth involved in a profession like that. This story is a dramatic version of what happens in the lives of many young people today, even if they don't realize it. They pursue a profession that they have no desire for in fear that their parents will be disappointed at them should they not pursue this specific field. Death of a Salesman displays this struggle if it were to be confronted. However, for many of the people who go through this, they don't ever reach that confrontation, and they simply accept that this is what life has to offer for them. They become accustomed to the life they pursue. Though they have no real desire for it, they continue to walk through life, going through the motions day to day. Success is a subjective concept. What one individual finds fulfilling may be completely different from what another individual sees as success. We don't have to pursue the same end goal in life. Those who want to be farmers should not be punished or influenced out of doing so. In a society where freedom is emphasized as one of its foundations, many people feel as they don't have the freedom to truly pursue in life what they want to. And I'd say that's why it made a big impression on me. It's a struggle that I see many people around me go through. It's still relevant to this day, and I think if we were to acknowledge this concept that Arthur Miller has laid out, we would have a lot of benefits from doing so. By understanding this simple concept, an individual can free themselves of a great deal of stress that many people feel when going about their day-to-day lives. Within their schooling years, the individual can pursue something that they truly find interesting. They can start the journey to mastering their passion. They don't have to constantly attempt to be good at something they aren't, and they don't have to attempt to take courses they know they have no interest in or know they have a weak foundation in. It allows them to potentially find success in something they're good at, rather than find failure in something others around them are good at. Sure, some people are good at the sciences and have a strong chance of going into that profession due to their wealth of skill in that field, but if one is not good at the sciences, but still attempts to do them in order to fit in or please their parents, they will lose all chances of success. Yet if they were to do something that they are good at, but is viewed as low class, they could still find success in their own different way. Another way it's beneficial is that everybody finds themselves in a rut eventually, where they can't find the motivation to continue for a time. This is inevitable, as humans are highly emotional beings. Yet by being on a path that they know they have, or at one point found fulfillment in, they have a much more clear way out of their rut. They aren't stuck at the bottom of the pit, unable to bring themselves out of the monotony they feel in their life. They can try to relight the flame they once had. By having that passion, they're able to get themselves out of the emotional hole they're in. I think by gauging your own success based on your own definition, you can have less dissatisfaction in your life. You're not going to be like Willy Loman, who's constantly pondering on the things you don't have. He viewed success as everything he didn't have, and ultimately, that's what led to his suicide. Though this isn't the fate for all that think like him, it is certainly a warning sign for those who pursue a life they have no passion for. I think it's very important that someone defines success by their passion, not by what another person's passion is. What I found most interesting throughout the course of this class was the concept of aristocracy in American society. I found it very interesting to take a look at how society that prided itself on equal opportunity inadvertently drifted back to a system they were so opposed to after only a few generations. Though this critique of American society through Great Gatsby was made in 1924, there are still elements explored that apply to society even today. Using material possessions as a gauge of status, as well as distancing away from those perceived to be low class, are still prevalent in modern society, even here in Canada. Furthermore, I believe by showing aristocracy's influence on American society, Fitzgerald made a great warning for us. By having an awareness of what Fitzgerald wrote here, we can try our hardest to prevent this from happening again. History is cyclical, and we as humans tend to repeat our mistakes again, but through learning about the many flaws of society over time, I think we can hope to prevent it from happening right in front of us.